The leaves they are changing, so are.
So welcome to the show, welcome to the show. Cause if you didn't, now you know. Light it up, kid, give them a show. Be volcanic and just let it blow. Oh, make them shiver. They've been waiting for the real man, time to deliver. I'm magnetic, I move still. They can't feel it, soon they will. You spit electric, you shock with sight. Your sounds eclectic, the crowds ignite. They've been waiting for it, so just let them have it, yeah.
Double stuff them like a sandwich. Hey.
We're live?
We're live.
Unmuted?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go, baby.
Right.
Oh, hold on. Ah, I'm already messing up.
That was beautiful.
Yay.
G-Talk, baby. Coño, por fin. We're here. That's right, baby. We're here.
Let's go. Hey, it's a G-Talk. Yay. Let's go. Hi, Frankie. We got Frankie.
What's good, fam? ¿Qué lo que?
Que lo que. Right? Que lo que. Would you like to say again what that means? Que lo que.
That means what's up, what's good,
What's good? Oh, I forgot to show you, bro. I've got a new. Oh my God, this is great. Okay, I'll unveil it. Here we go. This is great. This is gonna be fun. At the right moment, if I remember, I'm gonna unveil a new on-screen thing that I have that also has a sound to it. I want you to try to guess what it is, because you're not gonna be able to see it. And when I show it to you, you could get up and see it. This is why I can't wait to put the TV. This is funny. At the right moment, I have a little button over here. I'm starting to put these on. I'm gonna have on-screen things that I could push buttons and things will come up on screen like randomly, so that and then have sound. So let's say you say something like "que lo que," I could push a button and be like "que lo que" on the screen,
Okay.
like, and like a sound would go off.
All
like
right.
I'm working on it. I didn't realize what I can do with this stupid thing. This I'm not repping, but the Stream Deck. People know about it. It's pretty badass. And for the entire time, like for the last 3 weeks, I have it right here, and I've been using the Rodecaster. Another thing, don't want to rep, but it's amazing. And I'm like, I'm staring. Wait till you. Dude, it's so great. It is so great. But remind me of that. So it's the G-Talk.
Yes.
Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos a los G-Talko. Something like that. So where do you want to start, man? What do you want to do? Because I've got a list. We did a pregame.
We
right?
did a pregame.
We did a pregame. Would you like to tell the world what a pregame is?
I guess that's like our warm up. We just sit here, we
Yep.
talk, we how you feeling, and let's talk about it.
Shoot it like this, 360 cam.
Yeah, we just talk and try to get leveled. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes, level balance.
yes, because some days are not as good as others, but you can balance out with with a little talking, hence
Well,
G-Talk.
Or the G plan, right? We're gonna talk about the G plan. What's the first step in G plan? Tell everyone about G plan. That's the first step in G plan. No, but what's the first tenet of the G plan?
Talk.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about the G plan at some point in time. Let me get this out of the way. I have to, because I keep looking at it. Do you want to know what your name is?
My favorite part came early.
Yeah, it came early. Christmas, yay! So let me start with mine.
Okay.
All right. For those who don't know, we do down.
Ja does, not we do.
Yeah, I do. Right here is Ja, and then it says my thing, and then for Frankie over there to where his right hand would be, it says his thing, and it's a little thing I do. I kind of surprise my man over here, and I tell him, my boy, I say, hey, I'm not going to tell you what I write underneath your name, because nobody's watching. No one gives a damn, right?
Not yet.
Come on. So I write my thing there, and then I write his. I try to do yours in Spanish though, and I butchered it in the last one. What did I say in the last one?
Nobody knows.
Ma uscula or some. I'm like, oh, Google Translate, you mother, coño, papi, whatever, all that stuff. You bitch. So let me start with he messed me up. They messed me up. Whatever. So mine is Ja, advocate of devils.
Coño.
Get it?
Al Pacino.
Devil's advocate. I'm always, because my argument style is always, I'm always playing the devil's advocate where we're going back and forth about politics and stuff. And I'm like, I'm the advocate of devils. You know, I come up with all the devilish stuff when we're doing like discussions about God, government, whatever, guys, girls, which is what we do on the G Talk, right? Well, Frankie, he balances me out. Do you know how you balance out the devil, Frankie? What can you use against the devil?
Prayer.
Or the truth. La portador de la verdad.
Coño. I like that.
Right? The bearer of truth. That's you.
Wow, I like that one. Coño, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh, hold on.
How did he like it?
He liked it very well. Yeah.
Did I do good? I'm just joking. Did I do well?
I was going to say the algorithm knows how to do that. Even Taylor. Okay. Stop.
Stop talking about Taylor Swift. You don't care.
I know. Bye, algorithm.
See you later. Bye, Frankie. Hasta luego.
I didn't know that shit talked, but okay.
That's the algorithm, you know?
Okay.
Okay, that's our whatever.
What's her name? She sounds like a girl.
Aw.
Brumpa.
Oh, no, they're cheering. I stuttered. So welcome to the G Talk, or as your friend likes to call it.
The therapy session.
No, the guy talk.
Yeah, the guy talk, the guy therapy section.
The guy therapy session, where two guys get together and talk. So where do you want to go with this? I've got a list here.
You know,
what do you want to talk about?
We did how many pilots? 10.
10.
We did 10 pilots. Not once did we start with a list or anything.
No.
We just
So what's on your mind?
We just go with it.
Isn't it weird? The first episode, I'm more kerfuffled. I'm just all like,
It's like
it's weird.
No, coño.
It's weird.
Where to start? I don't know where to start. Normally we just start and we
All right, see,
go.
we need a list.
Well, being that we are for the first time and we're finally gonna freaking go live, coño. Ahora we're not stuck.
No,
because give us a
please.
subject and we'll run with it. You know
We
what I'm
had a nice little pregame though, and that's kind of like it's like the appetizer. It's like it's
yeah,
settled in
yeah.
our stomach. We're like, okay, that feels good. Then let me guide us here. Eventually, I'd love to talk about something that we talked about in the pregame, which is basically us just coming together in the 360 mode and just talking. You know, just shooting the and you're like, well, why don't you record it? We did. Well, why don't you do it on here? Because this is more not formal, but it's, you know, when we're ready to go on the field, so to speak, of healing and therapy. Because if there was no distinction between, and I'm sure you're going to understand what I mean by this. If there's no distinction between just talking and us actually needing to work and actually come into the metaphorical gym of therapy and healing, if there's no distinction, then it's just different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like doing this is different. When we say we're going to do a G talk, it's different. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, it's coño, pero not for nothing. It's just as authentic as the pregame
Or any conversation.
Yeah, it's just as real, you know?
It's just as real, right? It's authentic. I'll go over there, I guess, to the thing. Down there, people, over there to the wall. Authentic, audacious, and accessible. 3 tenets of how we do what we do.
Yes.
Am I going to test you already? You ready?
I'm ready.
What is it that we're looking to do? What 3 things? We're starting off with a quiz. Here we go. What's the three things we look to do? That's how we do it. We do it authentic, audacious, and accessible. But what three things are we looking to do for our audience and for ourselves?
Inform.
Hold on.
Do I start over?
No, inform is good.
Inform. Help. Hope.
It's kind of inform.
No. Inform is like sharing information and,
Okay. Help is okay. We're almost there.
Okay.
The other eye.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you right now. I was a C student. All right.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Yeah. We don't clap that long for C students or me. How about inspire?
Inspire. That's a good one.
And then what am I doing now? We're basically trying to the E word.
Educate.
And entertain.
Entertain. Look, I'm a C student, dude. We gotta come down with the random quizzes.
We inform,
Mm-hmm.
we inspire, and we entertain. At least that's our goal.
Yes.
At the very least, someone gets one of three things, and hopefully, all of them. So, because if not, we're just shooting the, whatever, right? But one of the things I want to talk about that we talked about before that I can't wait till we get to, and maybe we'll start with this, or you want to do the sponsorship thing. I don't know. I feel like just talking about the alone thing. We could do the sponsorship later.
Let's go for it.
And I came up with something that said, I wrote here, what does it mean to be alone? Right? And what I mean by that is, well, we're going to talk about what I mean by that, right? Being alone in your head, and I put, your thoughts. Being alone in your heart, right? So it's your feelings. And then being alone in your home. So your life, your existence, right? And one of the thoughts that I had here, quite frankly, was I don't think enough people talk about this kind of stuff because I think a lot of people, my guess, I'm pretty close to being, I think, on point, at least the people in my life, don't know how to deal with being alone. And they are in situations when they're alone a lot more than you would imagine. Probably any one of those three, the thoughts, feelings, or their life. Where some people, even if it's something as not innocuous, but as simple as they're not listening to me, they don't get me. Maybe someone's trying to put a point through. Maybe they're trying to get their part of the project through. Whatever. I'm just being, whatever, technical here. Something where you won't think it's mental health or therapy. It's something tangible they work for a company, let's say, right? And maybe the company's no one's listening to them. They don't feel like they have any worth, value. I know what it feels like, right? To be that, where you end up turning up the volume and screaming so people can hear you and feel you, but you feel alone inside.
Yeah.
Right? And I think more people don't acknowledge it as being alone as they should, or else they would learn to fix it, right? Or acknowledge it. So I think talking about this in a very matter-of-fact way would be a wonderful, beautiful way. What do you think about being alone?
Yeah, well, it's all right. Here we go. And the show just started, folks. When
Go for it.
All right, so the G Talk really was born when these two guys here, divorced. Now we are starting over and middle-aged. I'm 50. Jay is 47. Looking good, by the way, brother.
Thank you. You too. Look at that. Look at the sharpness. Look at this guy. And I'm wearing I'm wearing an amazing jersey, but we won't go there another time.
Pero we've been alone for some time now, and it's alone at home. Felt alone in our hearts, in our minds. It was very, to feel alone. Away from the world, from your loved ones, from just everything that had so much value in our lives. I did a lot of research when I said, okay, so my wife and I are done. I gotta produce a new life. The first step is I gotta get over this stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Step
and I was alone a lot. And so the only thing I could do was research, you know, how can I get over this a little bit quicker? And a lot of people say, take the time to be alone, to work on yourself, to try to refine yourself, because you're starting over. So now you have the opportunity to create a new you, an improved you.
Start again, right?
Yeah, and I was there, and being alone it could be a little deceiving. Because here I am.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean deceiving? Because
I'll tell you exactly what it means.
Go for it.
It's okay, I gotta work on myself. I gotta do this in my mind. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get my 6-pack back. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And then the other side of the alone is you're worthless. You're,
it's the thorny side, or it's the side that cuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's the side with feelings.
Yeah, and coño, that's a hard freaking blow. And now somehow that's fucking stronger.
Isn't that? Oh, it's what we talked about in the last pod, right?
It's so much stronger, and and then you feel weak, and you're alone, and there's nobody there.
You know that moment in the gym, not when anyone is like, you don't know that moment, please. Come on. You got to rewind the clock. I used to have okay, we'll move on. You know that moment in the gym where you grab the weights and you're trying to challenge yourself a little bit, and you kind of sit back and you're ready, and let's say you're doing a press, and you kind of get it up halfway and you just can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just fighting, you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, well, maybe I got to think about it harder, right? Mm-hmm. And you start, and you're pressing your legs against the ground, or your feet against the ground. At some point in time, you're going to have to give up, because something's not going to work, right?
You're out of strength, you're out of breath. This is like,
you're out of mentality, or whatever.
This is it. Like, I'm about to get crushed.
So you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. I know it's hard for someone to pick things up and put things down, but even you could understand what I'm saying. You got to make a conscious effort at some point in time. I got to give this up, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I'm a failure. Doesn't mean I suck.
Yeah, no. It's like you're human. You ran out of strength for that moment in time,
especially if it's at the end of a workout. But let's say it's at the beginning, right? Whatever. Yeah. But there's nothing you can do to change that situation. So what do we do now, my friend?
Change our mentality,
because that weight was too heavy, and maybe I got to take it in pieces, right?
Yeah.
Little pieces. Maybe I should do, to do a weightlifting analogy, it's like maybe I should do some cable warm-ups first or something, or some push-ups instead, or some drop sets. This is too much for me.
Yeah.
But because I can't handle it, at least I acknowledged it. I'm not trying to force my way through it by trying to get my legs into it or something, or trying to do something unnatural that's going to hurt me and make it worse. Great analogy, I think, to talk about being alone, don't you think? Because nothing that I didn't mention a spotter. Mm-hmm. Someone could have helped you with that weight, Frankie, right?
Mm-hmm.
A spotter could have helped you, because you wouldn't have put a weight you would think that you couldn't handle on the bar or the dumbbell, right? Mm-hmm. So if you had help, someone to spot your form or give you a little, you probably could have gotten that past that middle part, because the toughest part in a press is getting past the middle part, because then gravity is like, hey, up you go. Mm-hmm. So talk about what it means to have a spot here, because we've been dealing with a lot of heavy weight, right? And I know it's a clever analogy, but it's real.
It's but if you have a spotter when you're in that moments that it's like you're worthless, you ain't shit. That's why you are alone, because nobody loves you, and you're here alone because nobody loves you. And but you have a spotter. You have a spotter, and you feel a little emotional. You get a hug, and it's like what are you talking about, Frank? You're freaking awesome. It's their loss,
right.
and you're hurt, but you're gonna get back up, and there's the spotter doing their thing. But when you're alone, it's, you're trying to get to 100. It's like, okay, start with 10 because you're not going to drop 10.
Right.
And of course we all do it. We take everything on at the same time.
Right.
And
all the plates, bring all the plates.
And Christ, even a pizza is sliced up into 8 slices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's such a great analogy. You're not gonna eat it all at once, so roll it up. That's so great.
So yeah, it's being alone is very deceiving. It's necessary. I would say it's 100% necessary.
Say that again.
What?
It's necessary, right?
It's necessary.
Yes,
it's absolutely necessary.
Why?
Because you're gonna get stronger. You started with 10 pounds. You will get to 100 pounds.
But why is it okay to be alone though? Because there's a difference between always having a spotter and then. Yeah. I mean, there's this analogy kind of falters a little bit because sometimes it's great to have a workout partner, but metaphorically speaking, this bad analogy. Being alone means there's no one else. It's just you and your thoughts. Hi, hello, it's you, right?
Well, you could choose to be alone.
But that's what you're referring to. Like it's essential to be alone. Sorry to interrupt. So you could deal with your thoughts, right? You could deal with
some thoughts. I would prefer to not share. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
It's some of those thoughts. It's like, no, I will not share this with my sister or with my brother because they'll get scared.
They're yours.
Or it's me. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna reduce this down to 10 pounds until I could get strong enough to take on the next 10 that's coming next.
Like Ronnie Coleman used to say, there's a great video of Ronnie Coleman sitting back the Mr. Olympia, I think 7 or 8 times, and he sits there. Big Ronnie Coleman, big mother bleeper. There's actually 2 great scenes in this thing that I saw where he's eating like a big ass bowl of grits. Like massive, like he's got the whole big spoon like you actually would stir it with. It's so funny. He's sitting in front of the television. But then he's in the gym. And he's sitting there. He's a big mountain of a man, Ronnie Coleman. You could Google him. And he's got all these men in between sets moving the plates around. They're setting up all sorts of stuff for him to do. Because, I mean, just moving all these plates, not even that he can't do it. It's time. When Ronnie Coleman does squats, mother is using multi-plates. It's a lot. If he does leg press or whatever, or even if he bench presses, it's insane. But he's sitting in the back while they're doing it, and he's there. I'll never forget it. And he's got for a big guy, he's got a very high-pitched voice. He's like, lightweight, lightweight, lightweight. And he kept saying it over and over, lightweight, lightweight, his mentality, lightweight, lightweight. And building, and it sounds stupid maybe for someone, but I got what he was doing. He's sitting there and he looks so tired and his eyes are crossed basically, and he's got to go do like another 1,000-pound squat. He only does like 2 or 3, but he sits there, lightweight, and he's just and he's going through his mind. He's got this thing. He knows it's going to be hard, but he's like, hey, it's either I have to give up or I'm going to do it. Hey, power's power. Might as well do it. And he gets up there and he freaking bangs it out. Boom, boom, boom. He does like 4 of them or whatever instead of 3. What's my point? That in any endeavor, whether you're literally moving the weight or whether you're moving the weight in your head, it's mentality. Lightweight, kid. Lightweight. I just tingled. Light fucking weight. Don't let it get heavy, kid, because you'll never be able to move it. I need a moment, so go on. It's all you. Lightweight. Fucking lightweight.
But, coño, I would say...
I set you up.
It's easier to get through a gunshot wounds than a broken heart.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, okay, I'm not even going to make any comments. Go.
Physical is physical.
Physical is physical.
Emotion is something else. When you are...
But is it? Because emotion is like a physical thing that we don't know how to deal with.
For example, a man could work 12 hours in construction, lifting up stuff and doing everything he has to do. That is physical work, and he could be physically tired at the end of the day.
He probably is, but busted his ass.
Let's say...
or her ass. Whatever.
Let's say a nurse that is doing her job, and she has to think about how to care for patients and is minimum physical work.
Yeah.
but she also works the 10 hours, whatever amount of hours. At the end, she is mentally drained. Her body cannot move.
Absolutely.
So it's the two different things between emotion and physical.
Sure.
And the emotion outweighs the physical by, it's not even the same freaking metric system. It's...
So I was wrong. You're right. Emotions is not, it's electric. It's energy, but the feelings are physical. We feel the feelings. We feel sick to our stomach. We feel.
That's how strong it is.
That's how strong it is. But you're talking about, what causes all the feeling, I feel like crap today. Because now the guy comes home, right? Here, let's do a scenario here. Not trying to defend, just a scenario. He's tired physically.
Mm-hmm.
Probably frustrated, like I said before. I don't know if I talked about it on the pregame or just now. I forget. It's all blending in. They weren't listening to him on the project. They're getting it all wrong. He's got to go in there and he's got to be a dick. And he let out all this anger on all these guys, the people that he manages. And he drives home and he's kind of frustrated. He's like, oh, why did I do it that way? The reason why they didn't do it right is because I assumed they knew what they were doing. Now he's emotionally frustrated. He gets home. Kids are running around, whatever. Ignore the kids. That's what men do. Or so they think. And now she's got her emotional problems too, because she's the nurse. She's not emotional problems. How dare I? don't mean it that way. Problems at work. She takes a lot of that emotion with her because they're not listening to her either. The patients aren't listening to her. They're fighting back on the stuff. She's like, bitch, I went to school for this. Fuck you. Like, you're telling me, like, because you've been in a hospital before, I've got a job. Either let me do it, or he'll do your job, right? He'll come get you. The Uber, the goober, the God is going to come get you. So now these two meet at home, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
You've got guy, man, and you have woman. The irresistible force and the immovable object of emotions. How do we get around that now? It's a clash. Did not describe an average situation in most families in this country? What happens next? They both feel alone, but they're in it together alone. See what I'm saying?
Gonya, I would hope, and I would, you see, in the beginning of my previous relationship, we could talk about it, and we'll get through it, and because home is the safe space. Home is
like you couldn't wait to see each other to
right.
let go of your
let go that
right.
Talk about your feelings. How was your day? And you get to talk about it so you feel better. So a good marriage, comes in and they're able to.
What kind of marriage?
A good marriage. Hopefully, all marriages.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that because some people are listening and saying a marriage is good. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah,
they all start good.
They all start good.
Most of them, I think.
Yeah.
Ours did, right?
Yeah, shit. In the beginning, I had a bad day. I could talk to her, and vice versa, and we'll get through it, and then we forget about work. Now it's us and the family, and that it goes that way. But
she's pulling helping you to pull that energy, that stank off of you.
Right. But what I was trying to say before was that when you're alone, it's an emotion that is extremely difficult to again, you have it's necessary. Number one, it's 100% necessary. Absolutely. Because you have to. This is your time to get stronger emotionally, mentally, physically, in every aspect, at your capacity.
It's time for you to do the work.
Yeah.
Like you don't work out with people at the gym for a reason. Why? Would you like to say?
I don't work out with nobody, and I've been going to the gym for just about 10 years now, consistently, because that's my time. It's your time. 100% my time, and when I'm at the gym, I don't think about work, I don't think about family, I don't think about my problems, I don't think about the economy, I don't think about shit.
Nothing.
All I think about is my next set. That's all I think about.
Right. Not even you, Juan Soto. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to liven it up a little bit because I feel like we're gonna get even deeper. I see like the chasm.
We're going. We're going in on this.
Okay.
This
we'll
is
do
a
it.
safe space, right?
Yes,
is this
sir,
a safe
always.
space?
No, I know you're strong. Trust me, my friend.
Oh no, dude, it's
I just feel like
physically, emotionally is a different story.
Being alone. When I broke it down in these 3 steps here, like I said here, right, where it's in your heart, in your head, your heart, your home. When I differentiated it, it made sense to me. I go, oh, kid, there you go. You got to. It's not all the same alone. It's different types of things.
Yeah, this is different forms of
and different
of being
feelings
alone.
And different things, And I'm like, wow, this is what it means to be man. If you want to talk mommy issues, like I said, there's no mommy issues. It's called man, right? And if you didn't feel supported by your mom growing up, or she didn't, listen to your thoughts and hear and support your feelings, and then help you learn life and what's around you and how to interact with people, then you're going to struggle with being alone, because you should have been paying attention and use what she taught you. She's very important. The dad does something different. I think alone issues has to do with mom. Again, not a therapist. I just have lived an interesting life, and I'm sharing my story. And being alone in these, in these 3 avenues keeps repeating in my life. And I figure we can talk about it. What say you?
You're not alone anymore, brother. You got me.
Yeah, okay. All right, bye.
No, loco, I really struggled being alone. I struggled being alone in every aspect, in my heart, in my mind.
Pick one. Let's talk about it. This is what I'm talking about. Let's just be like, how do I say this? I sometimes worry that when we talk so freely that there might be someone that takes for granted, or we take for granted, there might be someone that might not understand the literal way we got to certain places in our thought. It's kind of like, this is an interesting analogy. You'll appreciate this one. It's like when the golf pro is telling you how to hold the club and everything, and you're just like sitting there, you're like, okay, like this, and okay. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then he goes, no, like this. And he makes it look so easy. I feel like sometimes with our emotions, and I listen back, like we're so emotionally available and agile that sometimes we're like, just like that. That's how you do it. And it's like, no. These people are shanking their emotions into the woods, and they're like, you know what I mean? It's like, so I want you to be as specific as possible. Like narrate the situation, when, where, how, what. You know what I mean? Go.
All right.
Pick one.
We're gonna go with the most obvious one.
Go for it.
When it's when most people say I feel alone. Let's start with home alone. You're home. You're in a room or in a house or wherever you are. You're alone.
Right.
You feel like you want company. And you feel lonely.
There's nobody there. Literally, there's nobody there.
Right.
Right.
You feel lonely. You wish you could talk to someone. You wish you could interact with someone. What do you do at that specific time? When you just broke up, or it's the first day of divorce, so that you're divorced, or whatever it is.
Right.
That is a very, it's such a critical time in the healing process, because this is when this is when it's going to hurt the most, because you can't even begin to organize, where am I going to start in putting my life back together.
It's like, it's such a mess.
A mess will be an improvement.
Where do I start? Which puzzle piece do I start with this?
Yes.
Coño. But can I diagnose? Okay, perfect, beautiful. You did it. You said it beautifully, right? Can I add the energy viewpoint? What I mean by that is, now take it from an energy standpoint. I have energy inside of me. It could be low resonant energy, like some sadness, some grief. I'm pissed off, something or other, right? I need to get it out. I can't get it out in any other forms. I've tried working out. I've tried, playing on an instrument, whatever. I need someone to rip it away from me. or I need someone here. I need to talk about, I need another entity to take my energy. And now I can't. So it's just vibrating inside of me. And I don't feel good. I feel alone. I feel like no one's out there, literally. There's no other energy that I could vibrate with to make. That's the energy viewpoint of what you just said. And I'd like to think if there's a balance in what we can offer is people that look at it from your point of view, which I do as well, of the physical. I literally I'm alone and all this stuff, but also from an energy point of view, right? What does that literally mean with my energy, my emotions? Well, I'm retaining something. I need to get it out. I need to share it. There's no one to share it. There's no one to take it from me. Right now, nobody exists in my world. I could stop there, or I could say to take my energy from me. But a lot of people stop at no one exists in my world. I'm alone. I'm done. How do I prove it? I still have this energy inside of me. No one's willing to talk to me, see me, be with me. There's nowhere for that energy to go. And now it's festering inside of me, vibrating at a very low resonance. And here comes depression.
Mm-hmm.
Because that thing's got to go down. And it pulls you down.
You know what? I was exactly right there. And I'll never forget when I relocated, I got here on a Friday. And I felt just like that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go out tonight. And I went out by myself. There's a bar nearby. A buddy of mine hosts like a karaoke thing, a good friend of mine. And I said, I'm going to go see him and, be around other people. Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll make me feel better. And
need some other resonance. Yeah.
I went out. I saw him. I saw a couple of people I know. They're in a good group. Everybody's having fun. And I'm not having fun.
Right.
Even though I'm in an environment where everybody's having fun, I'm not having fun. And I'm like, I need to get out of here because I don't want to bring anybody down with me.
Depression. Here we go.
And I went home. It wasn't even midnight. I went back home and I sat in my room by myself and I'm like, okay, so, and I won't front. I cried myself to sleep.
Yeah.
And I woke up a couple hours later, 3 a.m. I can't sleep. And I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I put on stand-up comedy. That's my go-to always because I wanted to laugh, and I watched some stand-up and I laughed for a bit and, fall back to sleep. It's a freaking nightmare, and that is unavoidable. It's unavoidable. It happened. I'm not going to say it happens to every single person, but I could not shake it off of me. But some people that have gone through something similar as me would say, yeah, I didn't want to be around anybody. I wanted to be alone.
You hear the list in your head, in your heart, in your home, thoughts, feelings, or your life, the physical. So to do it backwards, you, in your life, were not alone physically. Your thoughts, you could have shared them with people, and you probably did in some way, but you were alone, it sounds like, in your feelings. Like you weren't able to get those feelings out or deal with them.
I didn't want to freaking depress anybody. My shit was depressing.
Your feelings
it was horrible. It was depressing. Like I wouldn't want to put that on nobody. That's an awful thing to do.
Well, like go back to the energy thing. You have some low resonant energy inside of you. You're thinking about something's impacting you. Something's inside of your head somewhere. You're sick, literally. I don't know. And you need someone to take that energy from you. It needs to come out because it's causing trouble inside. In this case, that's why I love breaking this down to alone. You felt alone. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. You could clarify for me.
I felt very, very alone, even though I had people around me.
So you literally in the home alone. You're not home alone. You're out with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this case, you're not alone in your thoughts, maybe? Are you sharing this with people, or are you talking about it?
I couldn't.
So maybe you're alone in your thoughts.
Everybody was having fun. I could not tell them I just separated from...
Right.
I couldn't do that. Everybody's having fun. It's two different energies. Like this energy is high and vibrant, and this energy...
You're buying in, kid.
Could literally kill your energy in 2 sentences.
So you're alone in your thoughts and your feelings. Even around other people, you're stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Hi, hello, it's you. And you didn't know what to do.
No, the only energy that could match mine was somebody that was going through the exact same thing I was going through.
Well, that's why people say it's misery loves company. I wrote a song about that. Misery loves company. It's the same resonance.
That
it's easy.
is a term I've heard a lot, and
it's true.
A lot of people use that in almost every culture. Pero like for me, I don't want company in my misery.
You're not like everyone else then.
Like, for example, when the first time we went to the coffee shop, I felt, I don't want to say, I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was depressed,
so. We were anxious. We were depressed, right?
You suffered more or less what I did. You stepped in a different Lego block, but but it was a very, very similar pain that we could talk about it, and we both understand because we went through the same shit.
I got a juicy clip for you to watch if you haven't seen it already. Talking about that.
So it was like I felt
juicy clips.
I felt good talking to you about it because I said, you're going to understand. Not only are you going to understand, but I'm also going to hear from you, and I'm going to be able to understand. And suddenly, I felt 1,000,000% better after that conversation. 1,000,000% better. My energy was here. It went over here. And I mean, like, not feeling depressed or anything, but I mean feeling fantastic because I let go so much of it. So I think when we're feeling alone, as you mentioned, we do have to let that energy out. But I think that energy has to be more or less at the level of, not in frequencies, but in the similar atmosphere.
I think similar frequencies, right? I think you're right, which is the resonance of the wave, your vibes.
Yes, exactly. So that is that's when I finally started feeling better, bro.
But that's not when misery loves company, though. That's actually something. What you're experiencing is what people need. That's healing. That's there. It's someone coming down to your level, and not in a bad way, but or bringing their resonance down to so they're not so high pitched. So it's like, hey Frank, how's it going? How's life? And you're like, oh God, I don't want to deal with you right now. I can't deal with you, girl from accounting. I can't deal with you today. No girl from accounting would say, like, hey Frank, how's life? That's so bad. But you know what I mean? Like, what you're talking about is the actual healing part of it. Someone that can understand and sympathize with your resonance, even if they're not feeling the resonance. Right?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I lived here in this town for 20 years. I know a lot of people here.
Right.
A lot of people know me. I'm here for a little over 3 months. 90% of the people that know me don't know I'm back in town.
Right. Isn't that interesting?
Because I don't want nobody to know that I'm back in town. I am not at a good place.
Right.
And I don't want nobody to see me.
Right.
This way, or like
I could feel. I think most men can't speak for. I'm not even going to speak for the two men in the room. I think I do though when I say that's not just a guy thing, but I think that's a guy thing. Where sometimes you just, you know what? Yeah, I could probably get something a benefit from hanging out with so and so and so and so, but you know what? I'm not at my best. I'm not looking to bring them down.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for them to start asking questions, feel like they have to interview me, and kind of, especially if they're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bring down their flow.
Yeah, I had a friend that came.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And a friend of mine went to visit my sister, and I was home, and longtime friend, 20 plus years, trusted friends. And she came to the house and she saw me. She said, Frank, what are you doing here? And I said, I've been here 2 months. What? You've been here 2 months? Why you haven't called me? Yeah. And I was like, well,
hey, I got a pod for you to hear. Why don't you hear it?
I said, well, this happened. What? And you didn't call me? And it's like, I don't want to share this with anybody because it's
I almost want to be alone.
Yeah, I want to be alone, and
welcome to man.
I'm going to freaking suffer this out.
Welcome to man.
Yeah.
Yay, man. I gotta get kids cheering. Like little yay, man. When you probably needed a friend. It's like it doesn't sound so.
I just was not in the mood. I was just not.
But
in
hearing
the mood.
hearing yourself say that, how do you feel about yourself saying? I didn't say that right, but you hear yourself saying that. How do you feel about yourself saying that now that you've gone through this healing of 3 weeks? What do you feel about that?
I'm happy that I went alone. That I felt alone in my head, heart, and in my house.
I agree.
I'm very happy that I did that alone.
Why?
Because
what benefit did you do?
I got a strength I never knew I freaking had. And that makes me very proud considering where I started and where I am.
Because you did it alone.
I had help along the way.
But for the most part, you did it alone.
Right. I cried alone 100% of the times.
Right.
My most vulnerable moments were alone. 80% of the times. I would say 90% of the times. Right. I did a couple of things in front of you in my support group and at church. That was it. But other than that, it was mostly alone. And here I am 3 months later, give or take. That was the easiest breath, bro.
Right.
I couldn't do that shit before.
Yeah. Can I piggyback on what you just said for a second? As far as because one of the things, alone is not always bad.
No, it feels bad in the beginning, but it's not bad at all.
I would like to think, and this is, we're going to get literal here, not liberal. Literal, or just start narrating. Sometimes alone is great because you can be alone to sift through your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Not let anyone get in the way of your feelings. If you're upset and you're by yourself and you're breathing like I do, or whatever. And in my case, I have parents upstairs, but they don't always get it. You know how that goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when no one's interrupting and there's no other resonance, energy, vibes, kind of, you get to understand your own instrument and the sound of your own instrument, and whether or not, for you to use the music analogy, if resonance energy is like a string being plucked, bing, it needs to be tuned. Best way to do that is to be giving all your energy to that string and listening and, metaphorically speaking, and tune it and not have anything else that's getting in the way of that tuning, right? So being alone is a great thing, but I think some people are afraid of being alone because they don't know what to do. Oh my God, I'm gonna think now? Oh crap, I'm gonna hear those thoughts in my head that I usually either try to drown out with alcohol or music or sex or screaming at people or running around sports or betting or something like whatever, all the stuff I used to do. We're not running around with girls, but had an ex-wife at the time. But it's a weird existence when there's a bunch of people around you and you're falling apart inside, whether it's an ex-wife or kids or whatever, and you're trying to figure things out. It's hard. But then it's like you actually find yourself being alone physically, like I am now. And you're like, oh my God, it's like the one thing I want is not what I have every time. It's like I would love them to come through that door or that door, whatever, pointing right now. And I'd be like, oh my God. But at the same time, I got a lot of work to do, kid. I got to be alone the next few months. I guarantee it, because I got more work to do. I know it. I'm not there yet. You're much farther along than I am.
No, loco, pero...
But do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. And you were, you was alone. And, coño, much, much tougher than me. Pero you wrote 200 fucking songs.
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
And I composed 99 of them.
You, I mean, I don't know how long of a time you had this idea, the G-Talk.
A couple of years.
But it manifested during that time alone.
Right.
So...
Are you complimenting me? It's working. Go.
I am, because we forget that when you're alone, like me, I felt worthless, dude. And one of the 5 game plan G tabs G plan is, we forget to compliment ourselves because we feel so shitty that a compliment is nowhere near us, but it isn't here.
Yep.
Okay, because you are a good person. You have a good heart. You know that you were a good dad. You know you was a good husband.
Yeah.
You know you was a good employee. You know that you will help anybody that needs help. If you see a lady with a flat tire, she needs help, you will pull over to help her change her tire. You know all of these things.
Right.
Why is that so much in the back of the bus when you're feeling your shittiest and not bring it up to the front?
Right. Because we're afraid. Frankie, we're afraid.
No, we forget. We forget that we are awesome.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're consumed with sorrow and pain and agony, that like, God damn, my fucking life is over. I got to start over. And it's like, shit. It's like, wait, hold up. You know what? It's like, wait a minute. Frank, you have a good freaking heart, man. You would do anything for anybody. Right. You know, you are a great brother. You are a great father, regardless of what anybody says. Yeah, my wife and I separated, but you was an outstanding husband.
Right. You
supported her no matter what. You forgave a lot. You did whatever you had to do for that woman. You are a good husband. You know, and you know what? She doesn't want to be with you no more. Fine. It doesn't matter. It didn't work out between you. Fine. It doesn't matter because that does not take away the value that you hold as a person.
Right. Because you determine that value.
Exactly. I appraise myself, and my appraisal value came in as fucking priceless. And I could say this 3 months later. I couldn't say this shit 3 months ago.
La portador de la verdad. That's all I could add to that. I'm going to chop that shit up. Wow.
Coño, I'm fucking sweating over here, dude. I'm in my moment.
I'm feeling good over here watching this art form over here. Just you doing your thing, man. To look, but man, you summarized it. Again, though, I got to tell you, a lot of men are not like you. Bro, they're not going to take this approach. I mean, okay, you ready? I'm about to compliment you back, and you know, get comfortable because you ain't going to say anything for the next 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. What you just did there is a clinic. I just tingled on being a fucking man. Okay? Admitting vulnerability, showing it while you're even saying it. Being self-aware, emotionally agile, emotionally strong. I just tingled again. But determined. Like there's no failure here. Fuck no. Grab my balls. I'm getting out of this shit. It's kind of like the war movies. Y'all better be with me. I'm the one character that gets off this fucking island, predator or not. So, to you, my friend, la portador de la verdad, but I'm the advocate of devils. Mm-hmm. Most men are not like you. I'd say the majority of the men in my life talk like you, but they don't G-walk the walk like you. So how can we help them? What can we do here? Now I'm feeling it. You can tell my voice. To get them up and going, because what you just did here was like a backflip off. You fell on your fucking face. You're telling the story. And then you're doing a backflip off the ground and back up. All right, off I go. And you're still bleeding. You're wiping your face off, whatever. And now it's like, again, you hit that ball 300 yards down the fairway. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? How do we get I don't want to say average gringo, the average loco here, but someone's listening going, that's good for him, man. It's awesome. But man, I don't even know where to begin. How do I do this? What thoughts? In other words, can we narrate what you just said? Because that's important. But I don't think enough men get to where you got. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you do what you just did?
Yeah.
What makes you get that confidence that it's going to be okay if it's not going to be okay?
All right. So first thing is I had to accept the fact that my wife and I are done. It's done. That's it. I do have a new life. and is completely empty. I recognize this. I accept this. Yeah, I was alone here, and in my room. The first, I don't know how many days or weeks, it was horrible. It was awful. But I made a decision that is like, feeling like this sucks. I don't want to feel this way. I want to feel happy. So I'm going to put a goal for myself. Yes, I'm alone, but I can't do this alone. I went to church. I joined a support group. God put this amazing man in front of me.
Same here.
Journaled. And it wasn't until like 2 months later that I remembered I need to compliment myself. All right, so all that shit I just said.
You just did a game plan, son.
Once I realized that I haven't complimented myself in so long that I got to do it myself because I haven't heard a compliment in 2 months. So we're
about to put the game plan up there.
Yeah, it came down to that, and it's like, all right, I'm not gonna talk to my wife for X amount of time, even though we have a son together. I'm respecting my boundaries as a man, and there is nothing that is going to impact that or get in the way of that, And
when you say respect your boundaries as a man, what, like your tenets, like what you're gonna do, what you're willing to do, what you're never gonna do.
I know I have to journal every day. I know I have to pray every day. I want to pray every day. I want to journal every day. Not that I need to, but I also want to.
Right.
And you got to stay disciplined to it, because when you have a phone and it's so easy to call somebody or text somebody that you really want to talk to,
right?
It's effortless to press a button and get in contact, but when you say, no, this is what I'm going to do because right now I'm the most important person in my life.
Say that again, because yes, you are the most important. You're the X. X plus Y, say it with me, equals Z. And you got to start at X. You got to be like I say, the mama bird can't worry about the eggs first. Mm-hmm. She's got to worry about herself, because the eggs ain't going to worry about her. And they don't exist without her, blah, 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 some other abortion rant. I have a whole law about that, but how we could help the ladies one day. But you have to worry about yourself. And that's where being alone sometimes, I'm going to kick it back to you. Go for it.
Yeah, alone sucks. It sucks, but it's necessary, okay? It's like when you're a kid that you got that cough and you had to take that nasty medicine
that didn't work. Tasted good though.
No, that shit tastes like shit, dude. I hated that.
The cherry stuff.
Pero it was necessary to help me sleep through the night, whatever.
Or to get drunk if you're a teenager, to get high. But go on. Sorry. But you have to take the stuff, and it sucks, and you don't want to take it, but you have to take it.
Right, but so being alone and here and in your room. Is coño, the really first step is part of the process.
Yep.
But keep in mind, guys, is this on over here?
Yeah, going in close.
It sucks. I was there. I lived there. I don't know how long I was there for, but I came out of it. This is me 3 months later. Okay,
3 months, by the way, 3 months.
And I'm still healing, by the way. I'm not over this. I'm still healing. I'm still going through it. Pero it's a completely different feeling today than it was 3 months ago.
You sound different, man. Like, oh my God. It's a whole man. It's a different man, kid. Man.
If I was to bring my journal here and read you day one when I first started it, and I read you that, bro, it is. I will do it one day. I will do it one day.
I'll do that. Well, one day. Here we go. We'll make a G pact. Not only are we going to do 5 minutes of stand up together, each of us, we'll read some personal stuff from our journals. I think I have some stuff that I wrote, but I have a lot of like voice recorded stuff that I could play. Short stuff, a few minutes. Well, all my stuff is short stuff. Hey.
Brumpa.
I'm gonna end that. So we could share it and talk about it. Should you feel inclined?
And it's just for the sake of, yes, I do understand how hard it is. The first week, the first day, I know how hard it is, bro.
Yeah.
I called 988 twice.
Well, you admitted it on the show.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was at a very, very dark place.
988 is not for a pizza or for an Uber. 988 is for, tell people again.
Yeah,
what
it's for mental health. It's like this is your last chance at saving yourself. It's the Hail Mary. And when I hung up the phone, as soon as I hung up the phone, bro, the next phone call, the next thing I did, I Googled a church near me, a support group. I called the church. I got their service hours. I made a plan to go over there that Sunday. I went to the support group that's following Tuesday. I was committed 100%
proactive
to make myself better. I was like, you know what? I want to be happy. I know I could be happy. And that was my 100. What I did before was focus all my love and energy to my wife. And now that is over, I accept that. Now all of my energy and focus is going to be to me being the best possible me I could possibly be. And 100% of my energy went there every single day. Now, granted, a lot of sleepless nights. Went through, cried a lot. I know I lost 5 pounds by crying.
Emotional burps.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. So
5 pounds of tears.
Easy.
Same here.
I could fill up a gallon with everything I cried.
Frankie, I used to be 210 pounds.
Mm.
No.
But
I know what you're talking about. I vomited a lot of emotional mucus. Literally, we talked about that. But go on.
I remember. And I puked twice because it was just too much.
Yeah.
But once all of that is out, man, and you get to one knee and sometimes, bro, sometimes I was so weak and vulnerable. I'm like, you know what? I have to do this. I gotta write. I gotta do this. It's like it's all heart from here.
Yeah.
When you have nothing left, you still have a heart, and it's all heart from here. This is, like I said, you grab your fucking balls and you say, no, fuck that. No fucking way am I going to.
Because that's a resonance you can't stop, right?
Determination. No, dude, oh my God.
A man on fire, you can't stop that.
I'm not fucking stopping. It's like, you know what? I will admit that at one point I was like, I'm going to show you made a big fucking mistake. But at the end of it, I was like, you know what? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm better. Yeah.
I am becoming the best version of myself. And
Thank you.
I'm happy. I'm just happy.
Yeah.
You know, finally, coño. And you asked before, how do we get other men to, get to where you are? It's like
right there.
Make yourself a goal.
Yeah.
Give yourself a goal. If you want to be happy, if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you just want to be a better person, that you don't want this grief on you, point to that list over there, okay? And look, talk to someone. This is it. This is it. Talk to someone. Start a journal. Be proactive, okay? Don't lay in bed all day.
Right.
You can lay for an hour or so, but be proactive. Do anything that is going to take your mind off of this awful thing that you're going through. And don't forget to compliment yourself, man, because, chances are you are a good person. You do have a good heart. You do offer a lot of good qualities that a lot of people love, but we can't see it because we're so fucking clouded in the emotions that are just drowning our freaking thoughts with everything that put us in that position. Because if you're such a great person, why did you have to break up? But there's a million reasons, dude. You know what? My man, I'm not gonna say his name, but he said, no good marriage ever ended in divorce.
That's awesome. Say it again.
No good marriage ever ended in divorce. So
I mean, hey.
I was like, you know what, that shit makes sense to me. And
Yeah,
you know, as much as I
I
pretended,
agree.
I don't know. I wouldn't pretend. I was like, yeah, we had a lot of issues the last couple of years, but
true.
you know, it got down to this. But you know, it's okay.
But by the way, great. It's just, La portador de la verdade, the bearer of truth. So let's put it up again. I answered my own question just now, and you know, I drew a little line. It's like, help others here. How can they get to where you are? And you're like, step aside. Here's the list. I'm going to tell you some more stories about how I did it, and there's a list, and guys will figure it out. And it's true. Guys need lists. So here you go. Talk to someone. Number one, we just talked about how important that is to find a resonance or someone that can understand your resonance and can not necessarily come to your level and wallow in your mire, which is different than misery loves company, right? We were talking about that before. Mm-hmm. Misery loves company. The saying itself is, you're feeling low, I'm feeling low. Together, let's just feel low and get as much base out of that as possible and feel. And then I know at least someone else is sharing in it. You know what I mean? I eliminated one thing from the thing. Someone's here feeling shitty and talking bad about the world. I feel like I'm with someone, even though I feel shitty inside, whatever. What you're talking about is something different. That's like a tag team helping, right? That's people coming together and wanting to help, right? So in this case, talk to someone, journal, memorialize. You just gave a number of good examples, and you stressed the importance to you of journaling and memorializing it. Let me also say that I did too. I did it in a number of different ways. You like to write, correct? I like to sometimes write. I like to talk into my phone. That's my thing. And it works because I like to hear myself back, not because I'm narcissistic or anything. I like to hear the inflection. Sometimes I miss something, you know, words.
The tone of your voice, boy.
Right. You know, you've heard your own tone of a voice. If I put a transcript of some of your things, you'd be like, wow, this person's in a little bit of trouble here. I might need to talk to them. And then you go, whoa, I heard what they said now. Because listen, if acting was just reading the stuff off the script, everyone would be a fucking actor, right? So, and you're most real and you know, blah, 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 whatever. So to go back to this, compliment yourself. Another way of saying is support yourself. Be there for yourself. Throw some positive energy, some light on yourself, some gleam. Hey, I did that pretty well. Or like I said the other day, that tasted great. The chicken tacos, you're like that. And I'm like, okay, hey. But then the fifth one, not last because it's the least important. It's the caboose. It's the one that brings everything together, I think, is you're disciplined in your healing.
Yeah.
It's something you think about every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you don't take for granted. I almost slipped. You don't take for granted that you need to heal. And I'd like to think that no different than brushing teeth or clipping toenails, right? This is not a one-time thing.
That's a lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle. So it could be the G style. But for us, it's a G plan to healing. It's a G plan to living. I could even put the G plan to serenity. I mean, you know, because it's allowing you to get rid of all that stuff that was inside of you somehow, some way, some shape. And then, of course, you could then, as you journal memorialize, if you start to see patterns of where certain people or certain things start impacting you and you're finding yourself in the same spot, like the dentist would say, well, then you might need to avoid eating those things or doing those things, whatever, right? Journal memorialize allows you to do an instant replay, right? We've talked about that before. Go back and the video, you watch videotape, and it's tangible. It's instructive. It's tangible. It's repeatable. It's all the things, and I think it's great for any man or beautiful baby or woman or anyone. Don't you think?
Yeah. You once you go back, let's say you're a month into it or so. You go back and compare day 1 to day 30. Tell me if you don't see a difference. Right. I mean, I hope you see a difference. But even if you don't, I will tell you right there at that moment that you are strong.
Absolutely
because
strong.
You committed to something. You stayed disciplined, and that shows strength. Because, you know, when you're vulnerable, alone in the room, alone wherever, you know, in your mind and your heart, you feel weak. you feel very, very weak. But no, bro, you went 30 days. Look at bro, that's power.
Right.
I admire that. Yo, congratulate, give a pat on the back to you, brother. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Treat yourself to something good. You know what I'm saying? You deserve it. You earned it. You
Well,
are committed.
let me say this. Some people they say, I treat myself. I treat myself to a burger and fries. I treat myself to a lot of booze. You know, I think you're absolutely right. But it's important the advocate of the devils jumps in and says, be careful. And I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying to people out there, because you're walking the walk as far as and talking the talk. You've got your plan, your workout plan. I'm not talking about you when I say this. Some people think they compliment themselves by eating certain things, drinking certain things, spending money on certain things, gambling, and trying to feel high. That's not what you're talking about for compliment yourself, right?
No.
It's not, I'm treating myself to a burger. No.
Like, for example, I treated myself to a new outfit for church, you know, and cheesecake. I'm sorry, dude. I love cheesecake.
Me too.
So,
Hold on. Go on. My left hand is off today. I don't know, but go on. Giggity.
You know, something that you like. Yeah, you could eat something. You know,
but you're also no, because you're kind of describing what I just said. I mean, no. When you're you're talking like to yourself, and you're giving yourself a pep talk.
Yes,
like
yes.
You're bringing value in a energy way, I guess.
Yeah, I think a few podcasts ago, I said something to the effect that, and this was 60 days in. This is 60 days in my miserable situation that I was in. You know, one day I started reading back in my journal, and I saw it's like, okay, I woke up at 3:30. I started writing in my journal. I worked for a little bit. I went to the gym. I have a family member at home. I took him some food. I worked my jobs. I helped a friend, and I did all these things that was proactive.
Right. Important.
For this amount of time. And not once did I say, Frank, how the hell are you doing all of this? Feeling the way you're feeling.
Go. Yep. Here comes the compliment.
Your heart is shattered in a million pieces, and you managed to do this?
Yeah.
How freaking awesome are you?
How productive are you? How proactive you are?
Like, the strength you're displaying is admirable.
It's like what you're doing to yourself, right?
Yeah, and bro, that came at 60 days.
Yeah.
And it just hit me. I don't know how it hit me, bro, but that was a moment of empowerment for me.
Preach.
I felt empowered. I was like, coño, I was beating myself up for the last 2 months, beating myself up because I'm my own worst critic. Not once, coño, did I realize that I was doing
badass.
a lot of good things.
Yep.
In the lowest point of my life, I'm doing a lot of positive, great things. And bro, you can't say, you know what I'm saying? Like even anyone, you know, they cook a good meal. It's like, wow, this came out very good. You did a great job. Oh. Not even that I could do.
Well, I struggle with this too. I struggle with compliments, going to be honest with you. Sometimes I feel like, not that people are being disingenuous, that I'm not worthy. You ever feel that way? You know what I'm saying? Like when you're not worthy of a compliment, so you take it. Sometimes I don't know how to take compliments. It's difficult for me. Not that I don't think I'm great, because people on one end, people go, you're so conceited, you're so full of yourself, you're so confident. And then it's like, you don't know how to take a compliment. I'm like, oh, fuck, really? Well, I mean, how else am I going to take it? You know, so, but you're complimenting yourself, but because I think you're very healthy in complimenting others. It's hard. It's kind of like a, in order to compliment yourself, you should probably practice in complimenting others. In order to compliment others, you should practice in complimenting yourself. It's kind of like, you just got to get the thing going.
You know, that's I like the way you said
Is that
that.
a good one? Yay!
I like the way you said
Hey,
that.
I finally got something good. Yeah.
I like the way you said that because it's
Aw.
I do struggle. I struggle for not anymore.
No,
Not
I don't
anymore.
think so.
Shit. Every time I go to the gym, I finish my workout.
Hey, girl,
I'm
nice
100% done.
I mean, be careful when you compliment the gym.
I
But go on.
still don't feel it. I'm like, no, we're gonna do one more set, and we're gonna pick this up until failure.
Great point, by the
so-
way. Let me stop you for a quick second because I'm advocating like devil's here. If someone was listening, what you just said is very important. Let me kind of. It's not that it's over. You're not complimenting yourself on a job well done, right? You're complimenting yourself on a job that you're doing, and you're doing it well.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a long way to go. But kid, keep going. Mm-hmm. And it's like you're kind of giving yourself a pep talk. A lot of people, and I'm one of them, sometimes wrapped in the compliment is some thorns, some spines, like, yeah, you're doing great, but you should have been finished by now, or you should be better by now, or you know what I mean? It always comes with a backhanded thing for myself even. And sometimes I hold back, not now, but before in my past, I would hold back on giving compliments to people because I thought either I'd be way too gushing on them, and I know if I'm telling the truth or not. And it's like, oh, do they really need a compliment? They're not that great. But or I'm going to not do enough. And because I know that it's kind of like if you're going to compliment me and you're not someone like you, right? Where I know it's coming from, La Portador de la Verdade, right? There it is. You're the truth. But if it's somebody else, and maybe I don't know them so well, sometimes it is a little bit easier to hear a compliment because they don't know too much about you and they're complimenting what they see. So you must be showing something good. I think it's somewhere in the middle. Maybe that family member that you don't know so well, or you've known them your whole life and you've never really jived with them, and you're just and they start complimenting you, like, are they jealous? Are they trying to lead to because and I always was very kind of why are they complimenting me? What are they trying to get out of this? And that's a corporate mentality. Or your colleagues would say, hey kid, great job on that presentation or that thing. Oh, I was really enthralled. It was so great. And you're like, what are you trying to get out of this? You trying to kiss up to me so that when you do shitty, I got to compliment you back? You ever feel that way where someone compliments you? And this, I'm taking this a different direction slightly.
Yeah,
because
I never felt anything like that before.
It's the world that I grew up in, man, where you sometimes don't know. And I got to be, she's upstairs now. I hate to say it, Mom, but my mom struggled with people complimenting her growing up. I could only imagine. I know for a fact I've heard stories. She had a tough life. Her mom died when she was very young. Dad remarried, difficult situation, blah, blah, blah. I'll leave a blank space there. And it manifested in the way she treated me and my sister. And sometimes there was a trust issue for my mom because I think she thought that people that she loved would leave. They'd go. I can only imagine that's the trust issue she's dealing with. But what that manifested in me and my sister, but I can only speak for myself, is we didn't always trust compliments. And we didn't know if there was something coming behind it, if it was sarcastic, whatever, because of the source. My mom sometimes was conflicted, and sometimes she would 1 second compliment, but then say, well, but it could have been better. And it's one thing if I say that to myself. It's another thing if someone else says it to me. Like you compliment me, but then you try to say how it could be better. Why don't you just lead how it could be better, and then we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. In corporate, I was always very difficult. It was difficult for me to do reviews because my managers would tell me, you are very self-aware. Sometimes they would joke, next time send it to me in advance. I'll paste it to where my thing is. And then you could just do something really, here, do mine here. But I was difficult to coach because I would only take orders from people that had cred. You know what I'm saying? That I felt like knew what I was going through, truly had the proof of what they did. They were good, still are. And were true mentors, like really genuinely cared about my well-being and about what's going on. And sometimes they'd hear me spout off, and they knew I just needed to spout off. And then at the end, they're like, are you done? Like, are you done, kid? Yeah. All right, thanks. I got that energy out. I respected those people deeply until a lot of them started leaving the bank and so forth and so forth. That's a whole other story. My point being, even then with those people, I'm sure they wanted to strangle me half the time because I couldn't take a compliment. I just couldn't. I didn't think they were tricking me. Pardon me. But I didn't think I was good enough. I wasn't worthy. And I think there's some men listening that probably might have tingled when I just said that.
Coño, you know, I got to tell you, bro, I never in my life felt that way. Never, ever.
Well, welcome to man.
And
the other
because
side
to
of
me,
man.
if like, for example, I post a couple of pictures online after my gym workout, and I don't have a shirt on.
Oh, you do?
And people compliment me, and I don't. Oh, you look fantastic. And to me, I'm like, oh,
I'm getting there.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm nowhere near my goal. I'm maybe halfway there, if that. Pero I take it with a grain of salt. It's like, oh, thanks.
Right.
I'm not gonna celebrate your compliment to me. I still got shit to do. Thank you.
Is it fair to say that, sorry to interrupt. Is it fair to say, let me pretend I'm you for a second. Ready? Hold on. I got to be a lot more perfect. Thank you for your compliment. That's great. But it's not that I needed it, whether you gave it to me or not. It's
thank you. That's
right?
it. Thank
okay.
you.
Right.
That's it. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Thank you. That's it.
Bye. Have a. We'll see you later.
I'm not overthinking it. I'm not. It's not gonna. Occupy.
Did I nail it?
No. Thank you.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not over analyzing. I'm not thinking it. I'm not.
Walk on by. Right. Like Doja Cat. Walk on by.
I got shit to do. I'm not. That's as much of a. I appreciate the compliment. That's as much time as that is gonna get.
Here's where we differ, though, my friend. Here's where we differ. I almost need that attention. I almost need something to worry about or whatever. It's weird. It's like I need that attention to, even if you give me a compliment that, not you, but someone in general, and it's hard for me to take it, I almost need that energy around. It's a weird kind of, I must be a masochistic thing. Because someone's.
Why do you say that? Why
because I grew up like that. I'm not like that as much anymore, but I grew up like that.
That you.
I needed, even though I didn't. It was hard for me to take a compliment. I needed people to give me compliments because I needed that energy to come at me. I just wasn't able to take it all in because you're the man of truth. What if I had to become truthful now? Now the compliment is real. I'm real. I'm showing people my realness. Oh my God. They love what they see. I got nothing to hide anymore. Holy shit. Wow. That's how I felt. And it's like.
Are you saying.
It's not a healthy. Kid, it's not healthy.
I'm about to go somewhere, dude, and I don't know. I kind of have my foot on the brake.
I'm not like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
No, because I don't see that from you. Like we've been hanging out.
No, that's the old me. But it's valid for people listening because I guarantee somebody's like me or was like, whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying? You probably don't because you're coming from a very supportive family that probably didn't, you have your issues and stuff. And I don't want to talk about your family, but or mine to some degree. But I just said my mom was a hurt individual that had a lot of healing she needed to do and she never got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
So think about if you're someone who's has some sort of an ailment, put an X there. And you're trying to go do something, right? Craft something or replicate yourself. You're a computer and you got some sort of malware. You're going to impart it on whatever, whether you realize it or not, whatever individual you're around. And, kind of like the mold has a crack in it. Well, everything that you stamp is going to have that little crack in it, right? Mm-hmm. So not to say my mom was not a wonderful, I'm very lucky to have her in my life. But if she heard this, she would need me to compliment her and say that, or else she would feel something. You see where I'm going at? It was more about impressing my mom and making her think that she was loved, even though she kept telling us all the time, you don't love me the way I love you. And it's like, this is a challenge? This is a game? Or is this
competition?
That's how I grew up. And my sister was part of it, and it became, I don't know if my mom was doing it intentional. I don't think so. I don't think she had to compete for emotions and affection. And I think my dad helped save her, but that's a whole other story from that situation she was in. But it did leave some impressions on me that to this day, I'm still trying to fix the little imperfections in me because of it's from the mold of my mom, from that I was created from and the way it was developed. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I think there's more than one person, if they listen to this, would understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying ill of my mom.
No.
I'm being real about myself.
Yeah.
And it's provable who I grew up around. It's provable who helped nurture me. It's provable. So if I have these issues inside of me and they came from somewhere, say it with me, it had to have been those who brought me up. So, and it is. And that's why it's difficult. It's gotten better now, but it was tough to take a compliment because I questioned the source and the intention of the compliment, because I grew up in an environment where we didn't openly talk about our feelings like that and compliment unless the genuine ones we did, like, oh my God, thank you for helping. But the stuff where, probably deserved a compliment, but we just let it slide. Like I should have complimented my mom on the meal every night, and I didn't. She made an amazing meal every fucking night. She probably felt like, oh fuck, they don't give a shit, stuff like that. I'm not saying she's the only one. I'm not immune to that. I should have been a better son in that case.
Pero coño, I mean, a kid doesn't know that. A kid doesn't know any better.
Eventually, you should practice, and you know what I mean. My mom sometimes would, to remind us, would exemplify that. Oh, I slave and nobody says even a thank you. You know what I mean? It's it could have come out jokingly. It could have come out instructively. Hey, by the way, people, if you go to someone's house, compliment the food. Not to say my mom didn't do that, but I guess what I'm trying to say, long story short, to get away from, in case they hear, broadcasting from the mothership, how you speak to children as they grow up, how you comport yourself, carry yourself, how you deal with trauma, they're going to just do exactly like you do until they figure out another way. And I didn't learn another way until I was 46, 47 years old. So I struggled through, say it with me, the majority of my life with the old blueprint of what it meant to be a man. And because I got it when I was a child. And some of the stuff was missing, and it's some old tech. And long story short, there was things that I need to fuck with. And it took me all this time. And look, I could have done this a long time ago, even before I married my ex-wife, and figured this out. But I was, a man. I don't need help, And eventually, everything cracked. The little crack that I was talking about in the mold or in me cracked. And I fell into pieces because I didn't deal with it. I didn't feel like it'll keep going. Like the car needs an oil change. Oh, it's 5,000 miles. What's 5,000 miles? All of a sudden it's like 7,000 miles. The car's like dig, 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 dig. You're like, I better bring this in and then the engine block blows up. That's how I felt. But it's interesting that you're hearing me say this, and it's foreign to you because you didn't grow up like this.
Bueno,
right? It's true.
I don't know if I would say growing up, I grew up with, my mom was a single mom in the Bronx in the 70s, 80s, which was very, very difficult. Minimum education, trying to bring up 2 kids. She was frustrated a lot. She would, I remember, I'm not going to go into too many details, but I remember that she was tough on us. If I didn't do well in school, I'll be in a lot of trouble.
Same here. Yep.
So I understood her frustration, and we didn't give each other compliments. Like, all I ever wanted to do was just make my mom proud,
right.
Which I think I felt that a lot.
Debatable, right? At times, you weren't your best, maybe.
I was in my best a lot of times, but I think she looks at me now. I think she's proud of me now. Pero, like I don't need compliments. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't need them. It's not.
It's not that I need compliments, though, but I just needed that energy. I needed to let people know that I existed, and them telling me that I exist, and that
validation.
Validation. There you go. Yeah. Portador de la verdade. I need.
I bet your next girl.
validation.
I will bet your next girl's. Her name is gonna be Vicky.
Vicky Validator. like I don't know if you've ever watched. All right, guys, thank you. That wasn't that funny. It was funny. You ever watch Sandler's movies where every female character in Adam Sandler's movies is VV? Veronica Vaughn, Vicky Valancourt, I don't know if you ever know that, like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, the main character of every Adam Sandler movie, for a while, the main character had VV. The letters VV was always, it's weird. You look it up. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm thinking of my favorites. Happy Gilmore, the girl was
Vicky Valancourt.
No, Happy Gilmore was the mom from Modern Family.
Yeah, no, but that's the name of her.
Right, her character name. I forgot her character name.
I think it's Vicky Valancourt. Yeah.
No, Vicky Valancourt was from Waterboy.
Oh, maybe it was. I think you're right. Let's go. You ready?
I've watched Waterboy like 1,000 times.
Yeah, you're right.
I know Vicky Valancourt.
Adam Sandler VV names. Here you go. Look, Adam Sandler VV names. You ready? Female characters with the initials VV in Adam Sandler movies are Veronica Vaughn in Billy Madison, Vicky Valancourt in The Waterboy. You're absolutely right. Oh, it's Virginia Venet. That's right. Hi, Virginia Venet. You know, she comes up to
Yes. Yeah. Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that's funny. And it's like Violet Valentine in Hubie Halloween. Valerie Varon in Little Nicky. And so forth. Now, why? I think there was a reason behind it. For the names of his leading female characters, including some say that Sandler only uses VV initials for his leading female characters in movies where his character is an idiot.
That's all his movies. Well, no, not really.
That's funny.
No, I was just thinking of
the latest one. I haven't watched it yet, where he's like the diamond or something, or he's like a bettor on sports or something.
Oh, yes.
That's like a crazy movie.
Yeah, not one of my favorites.
I don't think the leading person was a VV, but yeah, I don't know.
Pero,
I don't know how we got on this, but
I don't know how we got on this either. We was just talking
put
about
a bow on Alone, because we could come back to that, and I'd love to end on sponsorship, something fun or something else, or GTAC. I don't know. I love where we went. It was very. I feel like we didn't land in one particular place. It landed on us, to be honest with you. But we definitely only scratched the surface on Alone. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, be honest. If you think that we've talked all about it, that's fine. But
on the
so many more examples and things we can talk about.
I'll take you from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. when I was alone. Boy, that now you're gonna get to somewhere that we'll save that for another one. But
yeah, because I think a recurrent thing on the G Talk is talking about these things, because they find their way back up, right? It's again, whether it's a dentist analogy or chiropractor analogy or doctor analogy, it's a work in process. It's not, or even if not a work in process, because a building, it's kind of like you. Here we go. Analogy time. Do you know that they're always they? Who's they? The people that paint the Golden Gate Bridge, the painters, are constantly painting that trademarked, I think, or that world famous orange paint. Once they go and they paint, they start again, because it takes so long for them to paint it. They have to start painting it again because that paint needs to be refreshed at the beginning. Have you ever heard of this? The Golden Gate Bridge is so big and vast and needs to be painted constantly because the saltwater air in the San Francisco Bay destroys it.
I thought you meant somebody drawing it.
No. I'm sorry. The painters. So they're spray painting, whatever they do, whatever, right?
So by the time they get to the end, they got to go back to the beginning and do it all over.
They're always constantly doing it.
Okay, well, that's job security.
Yes, it is. Until AI comes along.
We are done with the Golden Gate. Would you like to move to the Brooklyn Bridge?
No, you're good, kid. Go take 5.
Thank you. We'll take 4. 404.
Yeah, I get the joke. Go away. But my point being, it's always working. You're always working on it. It's never done. You know, the point is not to finish it. The point is to keep it restored.
I got to tell you something,
That's
bro.
the analogy of the golden thing. That's what I'm going at.
I have to tell you something, and it was only when I was writing. It was this week. It was during Christmas week, because this is the first Christmas I didn't spend with my youngest.
Yep.
And my ex, which I will now refer to as my ex, because all these pilots always refer to her as my wife. And
I wasn't gonna. I was
ex.
not gonna. My friend.
Fuck that.
You are self-aware.
Go
for it.
And I call her my ex because that's
go.
what she is, and I'm moving on. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, X plus Y equals Z. You're the X, but you mean EX, right? I wasn't going to bring it up, but I noticed it too. But that's part of the healing process. I said, I used to say my wife all the time the first few months. It's difficult. Listen, if you introduce her as such, that's a habitual thing too. But I think in your brain, it's letting go.
Yeah.
I think you're finally letting go, not of the person, I don't think, but like you said before, we could go back and listen to it, of the situation. You've admitted it. That's one of the first things you said in your healing was, and I quote, my words, sorry, unquote, that you accepted it.
Yeah.
I think that was a direct quote.
That was the very, very first step.
You accepted it.
It's over.
And words matter.
And, you have to accept it.
Words matter. So I wasn't going to correct you, because what good is it if I correct you, right? You need to correct you. Better yet, you need to accept it. And it sounds like, my friend, say it with
this
me.
happened. Okay, this happened while I was journaling, but it's in the G Talk.
What do you mean?
Meaning that you see the first 10 pilots.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You see the first 10 pilots, and here we are, number 11.
Yep.
This, I'm referring to my ex, not my wife, to my ex.
Well done.
So it happened in the G Talk. This is a proud moment for me. I got to just say that real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to compliment myself right now. I'm just going to give myself a little compliment.
Have a time.
Way to go, bro. Way to go, Frank.
Let's go, bro.
Way to go, Frank. You see your progress here, bro? You're doing good, man. You're doing good. Coño, espérate.
There you go. Boom. I drink to that.
Salud.
Salud. I drink to that. Let's go, kid.
Coño, I was getting to a point.
About your ex, and that you're accepting it, and you're getting to a point with your ex-wife in your journal.
My journal, yeah. Maldita sea, coño. And
that you were doing it, and now you're seeing the progression of the 10 episodes, and you're like, wow, I'm getting.
No, but it wasn't that. I was getting to something because I said something about my ex, and
take a deep breath and get back to it.
I hate when this happens, coño.
Hate.
No, this one is a legitimate one because
I'll take it back. No bets.
All right, you're gonna have to fill the
That's
blank
okay.
here.
Well, listen, 137.37. By the way, I just looked up.
Wow,
6 minutes away.
Hope.
The hour of love.
Coño, I wish I would have freaking wrote it down. Dios mío.
That's okay. Listen, your brain, we remember everything we need to remember. The energy's in your head somewhere. You misplaced it, but it's there. Guaranteed. It's whether or not you, the energy, can go and find it and bring it back. So if you just kind of leave it in the back, one of the tabs in your head is going to you'll be fine. Go back. But I do this all the time. I sometimes challenge myself if I lose a thought. And I go, wait a minute. Let me take a deep breath. It's like, okay, what am I doing? Where is it? Okay. And I walk through the hallway of my head, and I'm like, what was I talking about? Okay. Because when we organize our thoughts, at least my thoughts, they're not like alphabetical order. One thing is attached to another, and I pull one thing, and all these moments come out. And it's like, oh, shit. Which one of these is the one I'm talking about? Oh, this one right here. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's in there. So I'll rekindle you again. You were talking about, watch, it's going to hit you in like a few seconds. You ready? Time it out, people. Ready? We were talking about, essentially, I'll label it words matter. It matters that you call her your ex now, because for the longest time you listened back and you said, shit, all these pods. Look at me getting better, and I'm still calling her my wife. Hey, no, words matter. I got to change that. That's going to show me, give proof to me that I'm ahead of the game and I'm moving on. Because to call her my wife, that means I'm still attached, right? So logically, you went whether or not you acknowledge it in a logical way. I believe you did it like a typical man, a very thoughtful but practical way. And something that you could reverse engineer, x plus y equals z equals y plus x, and you could test it. Am I in the ballpark at all? That's what I think why you got to the point, finally, without me saying a word, to stop calling her your wife. And I don't know if the reason why, maybe there's a little story that you hooked on to that moment you realized when you, were you listening to something and it hit you? Did something hit you? Or were you having a conversation with somebody? Maybe that's the thing you lost. There might be a little nut of a joke that you're like, I dropped it. Damn it.
Mm.
Maybe that's what it was. Is it there yet? It's
No.
in your head yet? Damn it.
No,
I need more time.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so now I'm gonna. Here we go. You're getting sleepy.
I was writing it in my journal,
You're
and
sleepy.
I dislike this happens. I dislike this happens.
How about this? Why don't you pull from the here?
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, guys.
For the rest
Check
of the
this
show.
out. Hold on.
What do you got in your hand? Describe for
So
from
the
listening.
second pilots, we've been doing this just about a month.
About a month. That's correct.
And Jay, my man here, got the idea that it's like, hey, if we need a subject, I'm gonna put subjects in here. All of this is Jay, and he is going to, if we ever get stuck, we're gonna pull something from here.
Yeah.
This is our 11th show.
Yep.
And this existed since the second show, and we are going to grab something from here for the very first time.
I got stuff to talk about, but this is more interesting. I want to debut it. I don't know what to call it, but
this is a.
I don't know. It's a dinosaur of some sort.
It's a dinosaur. It's I think it's a girl dinosaur from Shrek. No, that was dragon.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, she got a bow, so we're gonna call her a girl dinosaur. Let's name her. I'll come up with a name.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna grab something from here.
But this is how it works.
Okay.
This is the whole thing to it. You grab 3.
I grab 3.
You hand them back to me.
Okay.
And then I give them back to you, or I could pick one of those 3 randomly. Hand the one. That's what it is. That's what I did.
Okay. So
you pick 3.
Okay.
Give them to me. I then pick 1 and give it to you without looking.
Okay, and then I read it.
And then you read it and we talk about it.
All right. So, folks, you're in for a treat. We've been trying to do this. Let's see. About 2 hours 10. Okay, so we are about 22 hours in podcasting.
We are.
And in 22 hours, we always wanted to get to this. And when the show is over, we look at her and be like, oh, we forgot again. But it's all right because, we always have something to talk about, something to say. So
142.42.
142.42. Okay, so she's going to have to wait a minute because something happens at 143. What happens at 143?
It's you say minute, hour of love.
Hour of love? No, but because it only took for a minute. So.
Well, listen.
So, I'm going to pass it to you this time. You passed it to me last time. I'm passing it to you. Hour 43.
Here it is. Right now, 143. We're in it. This is the hour of love.
It's the minute.
It's the minute. That's what I give the ladies. I give them a minute of love. Hey.
Best minute ever.
I want to show some love for my compadre, my buddy, my brother over here for doing this. It's taken me a long time to get here in more ways than one. And I'll just simply say there's no other place I'd rather be than right here, right now.
Hell yeah.
With you. God bless. So 143.43. There we go. Right back to you, kid. Off you go.
Well, thank you, brother. That was awesome, man. Ditto.
Let's go.
This is exactly where I want to be.
Well, we got 15 minutes. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna choose 3 from
Any
here.
3.
I'm gonna choose this one.
Don't open them.
I'm not gonna open them. I'm gonna choose this one, and I am gonna choose this one because it's staring me with the G.
Okay.
All right, so I hand this to you. He's actually shuffling 8.5 by 11 paper with his eyes closed. Oh, by the way, great shades.
Thank you. Great compliment. I love them. Yay. Oh, you're going to do this one.
Okay.
All right, let me get in tight.
All right.
Oh, we're going to put these back.
Okay. Yeah.
After. All right, go for it. What do you got?
Let's see here. Question. Do you believe in past lives? Bonus. Do you think you were ever a woman in a past life? Go. I love when he says go. He just gives me something.
Go.
And then he says go. As if, I'm like, coño, can I organize my thoughts here?
Go.
Do I believe in past? Is this a question for you or a question for me?
Well, you're the portador.
You wrote it, so I guess
You're the portador de la verdad. So you say your truth, and then
lives.
I'll ask some questions to get you going. I'm the advocate of devils.
You know, do I believe in past life? I'm conflicted here because,
Go on.
you know, I do believe in God, and they say, you know, when you die, your soul goes to heaven.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, so if I die and I go to heaven, how can I have a past life and that soul not go to heaven?
Well, here's the advocate of the devils. Go back to energy. E equals mc squared. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So one might logically conclude, what are you then if you're able to leave your body?
A spirit.
What is spirit made of, Frankie?
Coño, that one I don't know.
Well, we could classify it as not a mass. It's not made of plasma. It's not made of, it's not atoms, right? I don't think. We'll classify it as energy. It's E. E equals mc squared. The mass and the speed of light or light, how it goes to a mass, blah, 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 blah. Science. Well, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So if what you leave your body with is not mass, which can be created and destroyed, actually releases energy on the other side of the equation, your soul has to be made of energy. So therefore, to answer your question, and a long-winded, my guess, I can't answer it, I don't know. I can't prove it, better yet. I would say that that soul that went to heaven is you. Hi. It's still you. It's you every time because your energy cannot be destroyed. I can't prove it. It's just a guess. I'm not unique in that. So that's why I put in there past lives, because if the universe is billions and billions of years old and humans have been on this earth for hundreds of thousands of years, and now it keeps going back and back and back with stuff they're digging up, archaeologists, scientists, things like that, and people that write about it, you could only conclude that, is this the first time you've been in this world? I mean, sometimes forget deja vu, but doesn't it feel sometimes where, wow, this feels normal, this feels natural, whatever this may be. It could be anything. It could be something you do or taste or hear. Is it possible that your energy that's in your body right now, that same energy you talked about going to heaven, you're like, well, where's the other one? Well, find a mirror, kid. It's you. Hi, you've been here before. That's a theory. I can't prove it. So if you've had past lives, what do you remember?
Okay.
What came back with you?
Let's go at this again. Let's go at this again. They say, you're a bad person. You do horrible things. You go to hell. So you're.
But who says that?
Well, but when I'm.
Because I don't think the Bible says anything about hell.
Well, growing up as a kid,
I don't know about the whole Bible. Like there are certain rewrites of the Bible, but I don't think the initial Bible. I could be wrong. People will whatever.
I remember something, the Lake of Fire, which is something that, and this is, I was very young. Now, I really go to church to have the support of other Christians. So we could all pray together, and building my best self and a stronger relationship with God. Pero if I blow up, oh goodness, let me scratch that. Let me scratch that. If I do something that's like, you know what, that is unforgivable, and I died, and like, you don't deserve to go to heaven, you go to hell. Do I get a second chance? I come back as a different person, and do I get a second chance? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, let's think about that energy again. Well, finish your thought. You get a second chance? Well, I don't know. How loving is your God if someone's going to send you to hell forever? I mean,
well, that was
you know what I'm saying?
I believe George Carlin,
yeah,
one of my favorites.
Fire and brimstone and hell and damn, but he loves you.
Yeah.
Always watching.
Or how about, you live the Christian life, and you pass on,
get hit by a car,
and you make it to heven. And, like, your spirit is like, no, I made it to heaven. This is where I want to stay. Don't send me back, please.
Right. Well, maybe you got work to do.
Coño, pero it's like, no, I already made it to heaven. Like, I did all the work I had to do.
I'm already in first place. Here comes a blue spiny shell like Mario Kart.
I don't want to. I don't know. It's interesting. And on the flip side, I'll turn the coin over.
Sure.
Sometimes I feel I was a black person. I don't know if it was a woman or man.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like that because when I see like police brutality against blacks, I refer to them as us.
I've caught you on that sometimes. It's interesting you say that. That's again, you're very self-aware. Go on. What else? That's interesting.
I refer to it as us. It's like they're attacking us, and
right.
I'm light-skinned.
Right.
I'm Dominican. I'm a minority
in this body.
And but a lot of my friends growing up were black. A lot of my dear real friends are black, and I see something happening to them, it's like they're attacking us.
You understand that resonance then?
Yeah, and that energy, like that anger I feel is significant.
Right.
It's like it brings me to tears. Like I'm there. Like
so how can you feel that way? Again, sorry to interrupt, but this is a perfect time for me to kind of do my advocate thing. How can you feel that way if you're not in a body that will allow you to feel that resonance that way? You're recalling that resonance from somewhere is what we can't prove it, but you're recalling that resonance from somewhere.
Since young.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't think we're going to be answering any questions here, but it's fun to discuss, right? I'll take a step further. I've always thought that in a past life I was much taller and larger because I'm going to tell you why. I don't have a Napoleon complex. I just forget what size I am. And kid, when I get angry, I've gone up against, I've had friends like, "What, are you fucking crazy, kid? He would have destroyed you." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like in the moment of absolute rage, I didn't remember what vehicle I was driving, what missile I had, what sword I was holding. And I'm not proud of this, to be honest with you. It's not a good character trait. But I feel like I was a warrior or something like very in my last life where maybe I did some effed up shit. And I'm like, how dare for some reason I get this emotion, sometimes even at work, and I edge a little bit where a customer might say something a certain way. I'm like, how dare you talk to me like that? But Frankie, who the fuck am I to say how dare? So I must have been something in another life where I'm like, do you know who I am?
I will destroy you.
Not even that, but do you know who I am? Like, and I just tingled saying that. Like, I'm not saying I was something important in another life, but it's like, motherfucker, if you knew what I can, in my head, do to you,
mm-hmm.
Where am I getting that from? I can destroy men in my head, where if I had the capability, So it makes me wonder, what were you, kid? Because I through childhood, had a rage that wasn't just from my mom. That was in me. I had that rage, that anger. Ask anyone around me. I could go from like, to absolute fucking rage. And I forgot what vessel I was in, kid. 5 foot, I would say how tall I am.
Let me add a little bit to that because I remember.
You feeling me on this one?
When I was a teenager.
By the way, we've got 6 minutes.
We got 6 minutes. I felt very similar in a way that is like, okay, I had a past life, and I'm certain I was black. And it's like, okay, you died, and that spirit travels to however it travels.
Wherever.
And then you are born again into life, into the planets, and you have no recollection of it because it's a different brain.
Right. The hard drive's different, but yeah.
But the spirit carries something from your past life that makes you feel it.
It has an imprint. It has a tattoo. It has something in the
Yes,
DNA.
exactly.
Right?
And this is.
Christy would love this, by the way, from our work. She would love that. This is where we'd bring someone because she's into that. Like she's the energy is the past life. Yes.
Yeah. So I
154.54.
Coño.
I'm so glad that you actually. I thought that of all the ones that are in there, I really thought you were going to be like, oh, this coño, whatever. Come on.
No, you know, I'm
in this life, coño. I don't need a past one. Get me to the next one.
Again, you know, there's some things that I felt so passionately about that has nothing to do with me.
How did it get there?
And it's like, you know, and you know, is it the abuse? Am I angry at the abuse? Am I angry that those are bullies and I need to do something?
Right. Are you angry because you were just like them that are being inflicted the pain, or that you see the infliction of the pain? It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like you felt like you were there.
Yeah. Like this
that was you.
These are my people. And you know what? If it's on, it's on.
Right.
Since young, bro, since very young.
So that's possible. And we can't prove it.
No, I can't prove it. But you know, there was a time when I was young, in my teenage years, bro, as young as junior high school, I thought I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe there is a past life because I feel this way. I don't remember it because it's a different brain.
Yeah.
But I feel it. So in my spirit, that carries some kind of tattoo or imprint that is producing the feelings that make me feel this way. Coño.
Yes.
Again, this is just my personal experience. I did no studies of this. It's just my personal experience.
Say it with me. La portador de la verdade.
Oh, by the way, guys, you will learn Spanish in this. You will learn Spanish, okay? In addition to getting in contact with ourselves and being the best versions of ourselves, we are also going to learn Spanish.
You are going to learn a lot of stuff. And, well, guess what it's time for me to do?
It's time. Whoa.
We got 2 minutes to go, bro.
I cannot believe. How long we in?
1:57 and change.
When?
What do you mean?
When the
where did
2 hours? Where did 2 hours go?
No idea. But we talked about some pretty badass stuff, bro. I mean, for our first episode.
Our first, yo,
bro.
Our first, bro. You're good, you.
That's a
you're
compliment.
Very good.
Compliment back to you. You are good. You are very good.
You have a gift, my friend.
Well, we go out with a bang. My friends, this is the first of many. I hope the next will be live. We kind of screwed up a little something. But, you know, that's life. But we're going to keep posting this, chopping it up, blah, blah, blah. Last minute is to you, my friend. What else is on your mind?
Yeah,
boom.
No, this
blow
is,
our heads off with some knowledge.
Just, you know, to the men that, you know, want to be better, you know, you went through what you went through and you want to be better, this is your home, okay? And to the ladies, you know, if you come into here, you know, want to understand men, even though we are simple, you know, join us, okay? Bring your friends, all right? Grab some popcorn. We're going to have some fun.
Listen, there's nothing better than the portador de la verdad telling you the truth. I'm the devil's advocate, and I'll tell you, you may or may not like it. Who knows? But join us anyway. We are the best thing you ever had, my ladies and gentlemen and beautiful babies. Take us out, Frankie.
All right, salud, mi gente. We'll see you next time. Bring your friends.
And we'll go out with a bang. God bless everybody. Be safe. 988 if you need it. And if not, compliment yourself and compliment somebody else. Be real. Indeed. Be authentic. Yep. Be audacious. Be accessible. Or just be. God bless you.
Salud.